and welcome to For Your Information, the Cutchogue New Suffolk Free Library podcast. I'm your host, Emma Layden, Emerging Technologies Librarian here at the Cutchogue New Suffolk Free Library. Thanks for joining us. Today, I'm sitting down with Gerson Vargas, a documentary photographer who's featured in the Library Art Gallery's Summer 2026 show, A Place in Mind. Gerson, thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. I was wondering if you'd be interested in introducing yourself to the audience and giving them a bit of your background, where you're from.
Sure. Well, first of all, Emma, thank you for having me. As you mentioned, that is my name. Gerson Vargas, and I am a photographer. That is the short version. I am originally from Costa Rica, and I started very young age with these visual tendencies. That's what my mom used to call them. But my actual visual education started in Europe. I studied cinematography and film history at Cinecittà Studios in Rome.
Wow.
From there, I moved to the Netherlands, where I worked in television as a commercial editor for a Spanish TV show. And then I moved back to Costa Rica, where for a decade, I was the photo director for a political newspaper. Of all the chapters that I mentioned, probably that was the one that shaped me in the most significant way.
And why is that?
You know, one day I would be photographing the president or an athlete. The next day I would be photographing somebody that nobody knew about but had a remarkable story. So it really shaped me in a way of understanding that every person has a story worth telling. But after a while doing that, there was a growing need. 10 years I was taking pictures for magazines and newspapers, and I was helping all these people build their brands and careers and identities, and I was losing touch with my own purpose. And that made me realize that maybe it was time to move on. And that search brought me to New York, where I am right now.
And you're based on Long Island?
I'm based on Long Island. I live on Middle Island.
Mm. And I noticed, like, going through your website a bit, because I was looking at some of your other photography collections. A couple of the collections are very, I don't know, they feel very New York. One's in like the New York music scene, or at like New York Pride. I don't know. When I was that was just something I noticed when I was going through.
You're right, and thank you for noticing.
It's hard not to.
It's a process. For years, I was what you called a hired gun.
Mm.
I was taking pictures for my boss. My boss would assign me all these things, and I would go and meet all these great people, which was great. But it wasn't really my voice. And that's when I started this process. And I ended up in New York. And, given my background, because I was really into music when I was younger. And given my background, music photography, rock and roll photography was the obvious option for me. So I got to New York and I hit the scene, and I immediately got immersed in the music scene and the Lower East. And I was going, I started a project called Geek Hunters. Mm. And I did that for years. And for years, I was known for taking pictures of musicians and live performances. But then, again, there was something that I felt it wasn't right. Mm. And then I had to reinvent myself. And that's when I joined the International Center of Photography in Manhattan. I graduated from the documentary program. Mm. And that really opened up a door for me that I never paid attention to. And that's when I started really documenting what was really going on around me. And that's I guess, what you can see in my website.
Yeah.
That specific period in time where I was really out there and going through everything at the same time.
Yeah. No, totally. And you can see it in the works that you have on display right now. One of the things that I wrote when I was kind of sitting with the images, that feeling of documentation, they all have a sense of, moving, of transience. A lot of them are taking place in vehicles or at train stations, but they have a really definite solidity, I guess. A lot
Thank
of
you.
them, yeah, they have like a really, obviously they are places I can go to, but I feel that in the photograph. Yeah, so definitely.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
it absolutely comes across.
Thank you. There are things that are really easy to document and portray, especially when you're in New York. Everything is just out there. There is a quote by Rick Rubin that I love. It goes about having your antenna ready. It's not about finding the picture, but it's really about being present enough that you can capture it when it comes to you.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's really it for me.
Can you speak to some of the ideas or experiences that inspired your works that are on display in the library? Before we started, you mentioned that you shot them on this 35 millimeter camera.
Right. We're all going through continuous processes. And after I finished the International Center of Photography, I was so disappointed. I didn't want to touch a camera again. I didn't want to see a camera. I didn't want to talk about photography or anything. And I didn't even want to get a job. That's when Blind Spots came about, because I started driving for Uber as a mean to survive. I needed money and I needed to make a living in some way. After a week doing Uber, I thought, well, this could be an interesting project. And there I went again. But then I realized that it wasn't going to be a documentary project. I wouldn't have the time to interview people or take pictures of passengers or completely strangers. People would be upset. I wouldn't want to go through all the hustle. So I realized that it was about myself and my story and what I was going through at the time. And then I realized that I was just going to change the medium. Instead of going digital, I was going to go back to film.
Mm.
And that's where my beloved Olympus OM1 came about. And I always carry her in the passenger seat. And these pictures that are on the wall were taken through a period of about 2 years. It was a slow process. It was very rewarding. Instead of documenting the day-to-day, it drifted into isolation and loneliness and grief and loss and all those human emotions that we experience at some point in our lives, which are very, very difficult to photograph. Mm. You cannot photograph emotions so deep, but they can be suggested. Mm. And that's what we see on the walls.
Yeah. And also you have 2 poems displayed with the artworks I read through. Like I said, there's this transience, there's this moving through places. And then in the poems, what I was reading was this feeling of kind of working through loss or these emotions, but like kind of being in between, I guess being in between emotionally and also physically. Yeah. Anyway, I was wondering if you would be interested in speaking a little bit about the poetry and the writings that you accompanied.
Well, first of all, thank you for reading. I hate to call it poetry.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to offend nobody.
No.
I'm not a poet. I have the soul of a poet, probably. But I call it accidental poetry.
Okay.
Those were my thoughts. Those are my thoughts while I'm driving. Those are the places that I was visiting while I was driving for hours on end throughout Long Island and New York City, and really blind spots what it is. It's an emotional map that was drawn through invisibility and movement. And there are passages that are really obscure and dark, I would say. But there's also a bit of humor here and there, and I like that. But yeah, it was a rough project.
Yeah.
That I am really, really proud of, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would love to. Well, speaking of, I guess, a bit of humor, it was the photograph. It is A Mother's Love. Is that the title of the photograph?
Yeah, correct.
So just to describe to listeners what it looks like, you can see it's at Montauk train station. But in the foreground of the photograph, there's like an Elmo plushie that seems to be perched on the side of a trash can. So I know you're I assume, well, I don't know. Did you find it like that? Did you perch it like that? I have to know.
No, I did not find it like that. But I have to ask you, would it be okay if I read that poem?
Oh my gosh, please. Yeah.
I have the book right here, so I could just read it if I may.
Yeah, please.
So this is a poem I wrote for my mother. And it goes like this. We both shared a common fear. We were both born in a place where so few had a chance. That's why you sing when you're happy, she said to me sweetly. She was still wearing her pajamas. She smelled summer sweet like rain, fresh like the rose I stole from her garden, but like memories left out to dry. She was quickly turning green. The cancer spread to the rest of her body in less than 2 hours. And by the end of the day, it was all over. Just like the rose I stole from her garden. So, the story behind that picture, while I was in the process of completing this project, my mom fell ill with cancer in Costa Rica. And as soon as I knew, I flew over there the next day, spent time with her in the hospital. But obviously, I couldn't stay. I already made a life here in New York, so I had to come back. So I brought her my Elmo. So my Elmo would take my place and be with her in the hospital. And then she went through all chemotherapy and the rest. And sadly, she passed away. She didn't make it. But one of the things that she wanted to do when she was done with everything was to come and spend time with me here in New York. And she wanted to go and see the places. So I took Elmo with me. And before Elmo took my place, now Elmo was taking her place. So I was taking her places with me.
Oh my gosh, that's extremely sweet and extremely sad. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. She's in a better place.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Of course, thank you for noticing.
And yeah, I love how I was like, oh, this funny photograph, but it has such a that's such a personal connection.
This book is very personal. And I was talking to a friend, and we were talking about how difficult it is to be that vulnerable and exposed. And this is a place I have never been.
Mm.
I was a photographer. I was always working for somebody. I was taking all these pictures, pretty pictures, never thinking about myself or what I wanted to say. So it's been a cathartic project.
How did you get to the place where you felt that you were able to share these things?
Well, this is the first time I am doing something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like
that's a big one.
Yeah, this is like the time. But I don't know. I guess I was involved in so many projects before, and they were never about myself or about me or about my story. There was always something else, somebody else, and then finding or not finding, building this opportunity has released me from a lot of background issues that I had growing up. That I was still trying to make peace with, and this is what the book has served. It's really given me wings and to be free.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Love hearing.
Thank you.
I guess that's kind of goes with my next question, which is, what do you find most challenging when you're creating or when you're sharing your work with other people? if anything. Is this a loaded question?
Honestly, I am my biggest obstacle.
Yeah, really.
Really, like all of us, I have an ego. And as an artist or as a photographer, I am constantly resisting the urge to create work that is immediately liked and easily consumed. I rather take a picture that will stay with somebody or will say something to somebody in 6 months or 6 years than just making a pretty picture just for making it. But yeah, it's a tricky world to navigate.
Mm.
And I'm glad that all this social media got to me at this age, that I know about myself and who I am and what I like and what I don't and what I want and what I don't, instead of just being pushed into all this madness and try to please everybody.
Yeah.
You can't. There's some gratification in just going against that grain.
Mm.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
It's so punk.
Yeah, I agree. I like that punk energy.
Exactly. It's so punk.
I want everyone to know you have an extremely punk shirt on today as well.
Thank you. That's my Frankenstein t-shirt.
Yeah. Die fast, live fun.
Exactly.
On Boris Karloff, Frankenstein's head, which is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
What do you find most inspiring or energizing when you're embarking on a new project? Is there, I don't know, what really catches your attention?
I can never tell where inspiration is going to come from. The music video I recently directed for A Place to Bury Strangers came from riding the New York City subway and noticing how people's lives are constantly intersecting, even for a second before they go on in different directions forever. So I go back to Rick Rubin and what he said. It's about having your antenna ready. Inspiration is not something that you wait for. It's already here. It's just a matter of being present to capture it. It's funny because I just mentioned that A Place to Bury Strangers video. Do you know them?
No, I don't. I'm not familiar, but I'm gonna look them up after this.
They are legends. They're They're a noise band from Brooklyn. I follow them since 2005, and I've always been a huge fan. And the greatest thing that happened to me was that I moved to New York and we became friends. And not only that, but they asked me to direct one of their videos. Imagine that as a music fan,
Yeah,
what it does to you. And Oliver Ackerman, who's the singer and the founder, he's a great guy. He's got all these ideas, and he wanted to do this crazy video, and he wanted to shoot it on film. And I was so, dude, don't do this to me. I'm only gonna have like 6 minutes to shoot this thing, and if we are gonna do it on film, I'm gonna have to change film midway, and it's just gonna ruin the whole thing. And I just can't afford that.
Yeah.
So he understood, and he was like, okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, well, just do whatever you have to do. But you say, okay, well, this is what I'm doing because it serves the project better.
Do you have any current projects that you're working on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes. I'm juggling a few projects. A couple of them are films. Very excited. But the one that's really captured my love and attention is a children's book. And it has very little or nothing to do with photography. I wish I could tell you more. But the book is being illustrated as we speak.
Whoa.
So I would have to keep some of the magic a secret.
Okay.
But I am working on a children's book right now, and I'm very, very excited.
That's awesome. Please let us know.
Thank you.
When it's ready.
You. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you'll be the first. You'll be the first to know. I'm very excited about this one.
So you're doing a lot of writing, it sounds like.
I am, which is great. It's great. I love it. It's very time consuming. And even though I'm a Virgo, like I just said to you, I'm not well organized. I'm probably the most Virgo when it comes to organizing myself.
Okay. I will say for the listeners, he brought in like a folder that was very well organized. So this is funny to hear, but I believe you.
Thank you. Well, a folder is very easy to organize.
Okay,
but yeah, it's all happening, and it's just ideas here and there, and it's always something, and it's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It keeps me on my toes, and it keeps me in touch with that little child that's always beside us throughout our lives, even as we grow older. And I love that.
I'm feeling inspired. I have to go out and make something. Because I was thinking about that recently, because I forget if it was on NPR or something, but I was listening to something recently where they were talking about the importance of play as adults, and whether that is doing something creative or just doing something that you can kind of get lost in. But I do think that's so important. And for me personally, it's something I've been thinking I need to do more of.
You go for it. You have to definitely do it. I believe you met my daughter.
Yes, yeah.
The day of the opening, you met Agatha.
Yes.
She had all the tattoos.
Yes, and she had the cool outfit on, is what I recall.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Yes.
She is the best, and she's a nurse.
Oh, is she really? Wow.
She just graduated as a nurse. But you see her with all the tattoos and the camera. She's also a photographer. And I have 3 daughters. And I always tell them, okay, yeah, school, college, careers, that's all good. But you have to have an artistic platform from where you can express yourself and be who you truly are. Once you like something, you absorb it, you make it your own. When it comes out differently. And that's your version of it. And that is completely good. That's great. That's art. That's what we do.
Thank you so much again for sitting down
with
me today.
No, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I was a minute late?
No, you were totally fine. You really weren't late at all. And just before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask, where can our listeners find you and your work if you want to share?
I have a website, gersonvargas.net. And I have an Instagram, but I don't post as much as Instagram would like me to. So
Right.
I don't know. But my Instagram is, it's in Spanish, Soy Yo Gerson. For those who understand, that's it's me, Gerson, in Spanish. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your time. I love the place. I love the fact that my pictures are hanging on the wall on a public library. There is nothing more punk than the public library. And I love that. And I love that it happened to me. And I want to thank you for having me. But also I would like to thank Mary Goldman and Doris Brautigan for picking up my project and included in such an important exhibition. I'm honored, and my life will never be the same.
Thanks for joining us today on For Your Information, the Cutchogue New Suffolk Free Library podcast. I hope you tune in again soon, and I hope you learned something new. For Your Information is a production of the Cutchogue New Suffolk Free Library. Our intro and outro music is Lavender Sky by Kaizan Blue. I'm your host, producer, editor, and emerging technologies librarian, Emma Layden. We'll catch you next time. Until then, stay open to new ideas.